gunman in the clock tower. It's the man in the menace, damned and relentless, who stands in the trenches with a plan to make an end. It's all against all. Hate and disgrace scrawled across the wall, written in an angel's fiery hand. The broken cement is divided we stand. I wish my father was a gambling man. Here while last, I'm only pro tempore with the past I could kill men for. I ain't looking for nobody to hold, just a broad to keep an otherwise cold bed warm. Only fit for the slammer, not the glitz and the glamour. Up the sickle and hammer, I don't sit when I'm hammered. Make heads nod, turn a street corner to a sweat box. And whether you're a Stalin or a Joseph McCarthy, a drop-in bomb and a soldier without the dark green, I'll sublimate my libido, my hate and my ego for 2 minutes alone with the man turn this home into a freak show. It's the SUDA, the SUDA. Make hands rise like Jesus after 3 days. Down to earth like a coffin in a deep grave. It's the SUDA, SUDA. Pass the mic like a baton in a relay, and then get it back like cash in a rebate. The SUDA, the SUDA, the SUDA, the SUDA. I hit the mic for the love of hip-hop, not for a supercar or a fucking wristwatch. Never drawn into the culture spawning trends and fads. A man on fire wears no ice. Remember that when I walk where I'm not welcome. I'm armed with my fists and my with no shell gun. And well, son, no one can make me sweat or break my fever. The asthmatic rapper never takes a breather, cause I am how I'm supposed to be. Never eaten the insane fruit or sucked the loco weed. Never had the hard drink to squash my squalor. Never sold out, my brain can't be washed with dollars. Kobe Saldo, better known as the human metronome, grabs the microphone and just won't let it go. Always on point like a knife to the heart, with no need to fight, the bite isn't his bark. Right from the start, no comparison from square one. Pledged to be an MC, swearing by the snare drum. Knows what time it is. 4-4 to that beating of the hideous heart in the floorboards. Piece de resistance. I am the polar bear to your solar flare, the angry Middle East man to your peace plan. I am the devil in the details, a genuine article to your products marked for resale. The Willy Wonka to your diabetes, the criminal warmonger who denies your treaties. I am the black sheep in a pool of flamingos, the door-to-door salesman coming through your window. I am the baseball bat to your mailbox. You are the heaven's gate to my hell bop. I am the syringe to your detox, the precise instrumental to your off-rhythm beatbox. The Al Capone to your prohibition, the black cat crossing your path to your superstition. I am the great flood to your damn dark, the ferocious sea lion to your land shark, the stun gun to your sexual assailant, the fiend bumping notice you cats hitting inhalants, the poison plankton to your great whale. I am the special brownies at the big sale. I am the Excalibur to your Mordred, the blood and semen stains to the lies you're force-fed. I am the antagonist to your antithesis, the fine tobacconist to your cancer physicist, the stone cold sober to your cannabis, the hemophilia to your pampered prince. I am the shallows to your ship that's lost its captain. I am the menage a trois to your it's never gonna happen. I am the first rate to your talentless hack, the earthquake to your balancing act, the lump of coal to your Christmas list, the sharp razor to your depressed kid's wrist, the thunderstorm to your picnic, the hundreds more to your statistic. You're the Peace Corps, I'm the ballistics. You are the baby, and I'm the python. You're the boss man, and I'm the worker with the pipe bomb. I am the propeller to your pelican, the relapse on your beaten path to getting well again, the magnifying glass to your anthill. I'm the great leap forward while you stand still. I am the back alley abortion to your immaculate conception. You're the irreducible complexity to my natural selection. With a Kevlar grin, I was set hard in against the slings and the arrows. With my back to the pyramids, I could take any king or pharaoh. But I was made an orphan by outrageous fortune, a slew of bad choices, a few stray endorphins. He made me concrete when I should have stayed amorphous, cut down by a sea of misery, not a blade remorseless. A great figure, why does he choose to stay and linger and leave you with the same whisper? No one loves you when you're down and out, and that's all you're gonna be once they found you out. The devil's demon, when you're trying to stay sober, he leaves cats fiending for several reasons that they embrace, but they can't explain. He's a passion that crashes when your bad habit tells you everything's changed, including you, when you're in all ways the same. And what used to be a hallway of saints is now a psychopath's corridor, and you stand where you stood before, a fallen lord of war, and there won't be no swords. Two plowshares with old man trouble sitting like a southern doctor downstairs in your lounge chair.
He's peeking round the bend, the only one there when we're seeking out a friend. He's the king of heartache. When there's no pain, he brings it our way. Always 2 steps ahead, trampling us with his shoes and never dead. There's nothing you can ever do. Stab him in the back and then he's standing next to you, always on the move like a damn phantom. You try to look away, but the man's handsome. He's in your hopes and fears, right under your nose when the coast seems clear, always close and near.
The car is coming from inside the house.
He's in the closet making friends with your skeletons. Between them, no blood and no melanin, and they're plotting your demise. All traps are set and properly designed for when your anger rises and you might act wild. He pushes you forward with a half smile when your temper is lost and you're fighting a man. Old man Trouble puts a knife in your hand and makes your blood run colder. Between good and evil, he's on the case with hand puppets on your shoulders. And when you go to lunch, thanks to old man Trouble, your lucky lady luck makes your cold hand fumble. That's old man Trouble. They could take it away, your right to free speech, your right to seek peace and happiness. Like a bad acid trip, they could return again and again to take the last of it. Your manhood could get shipped out like canned goods to a foreign place full of war and hate. There's not enough stuffed animals in Baltimore to cover all of our brothers who would get called to war. Your right to free enterprise could be denied like the Armenian genocide. And when our armed forces turn to farms of corpses, maybe someone will see where Darfur is. Freedom of the press, it can start to be endangered, like the park ranger in untouched forest. Hot and cold, there wouldn't be any such porridge, just lukewarm, root for the war, praise the war, pigs propaganda. You gotta stand up, man's hands to be free, not in handcuffs, for the right to bear arms, to protect their farms, and call the man's bluff when the kingdom is warring, and they kick your door in. The right to privacy from sea to shining sea has been taken at last by the Patriot Act. If you're a commie Arab or pothead, they're tapping your calls and confiscating your stash. We've never had the right to assemble as mice and men will. Since the armory of Carnegie and the Pinkertons, they turn a riot from a protest and guilty from innocent fellow pissed off Americans. Then they blame the television and parenting for a breakdown in the family structure. While the planet ruptures and we lose our rights, they're concerned about gay marriage and choosing life. While the economy falls off the charts and poverty is on the march, I'm proud to be in the USA.
One man, built for one purpose. Mine's in the dirt and I'm ready to unearth it. Embedded in the cursive, one grand destiny. Who gets the first dibs? The man with the head start, or he who steps hard and pulls the lurch in? The lawyers and the surgeons are those emerging in the worst things. Those that break down face down are those that burst in after meeting the depths with a stern grin. Effortless across the hills to the precipice, I'll let death forgive. Till then I'll still be an Everest, lacking the poison skill and the leverage. Born with both hands, bound by the umbilical, with no pants in the slow dance of romance. Sounds so unbiblical, no chance. A picture for despicable, words from this grown man from an embryo. I never was your fortunate, never was your wretched growth. Be born and bred in this life, less than force, more than lead. I never was your wretched growth. Be born and bred in this life, less than force, more than lead. I never was your wretched growth. To be born and bred.
I wasn't one born to be fortunate, never put importance in ornaments or any other symbols. That's for the simple. Even if they order it, I never saw authority as anything but boorishness. And the chorus is singing hail to the chief, but the only real chiefs were assailed in their sleep. And to that they want me to pledge allegiance and stand up and die for it in another region. For whatever reason, reason they cry war, and war it is. Might be the third, fourth, or fifth one, but there's no war but class war, and it's borderless. I'm not your fortunate son, a duty shirker, military deserter, heir to Max Stirner, and flag burner. No, the man who freed the slaves was Nat Turner. Not a pacifist, just not a patriot. A conscientious, objective thinker. Not gonna melt down like my Green Army men did. What you gonna do when they're hunting you? They tried to catch 22, but you're sorry and live. For whatever reason, they cry war, and war it is. Might be the third, fourth, or fifth one, but there's no war but class war, and it's borderless. I'm not your fortunate son. I'm not your fortunate son. I'm not your fortunate son. I am not your fortunate son. Life is alright, but death is certain and sure. You can go to sleep in peace and open your curtains to war. The next bloody coup is near but appears far. In the words of Sun Tzu, and well, here we are. Peed on peons, overburdened servants of the same master we've had for eons. The revolution won't be televised, it'll be broadcast at the wavelength of a wage slave's angst to raise their great strength and rebel at long last and lace up. Time for the anarchist bootstomp, for the laborers who deserve what the suits got. Some will be dead, you dip your bread while your soup's hot and burn the filthy money, the sleaze and greed. Fuck the milk and honey, we want the cheese and meat and the means of production, the machines for construction. To us, the American dream is nothing. I grab the microphone like Karl Marx to move the proletariat till the quarrel starts. With these capitalist dogs, I'm rapping it raw as sushi. Gentlemen, draw your Uzis. The streets will run red with the upheaval of the infidels. The cathedrals and the citadels will burn with the churches and evil-minded criminals on Wall Street. Suit and tie burglars who work to keep their costs cheap. They're all sheep in the presence of wolves. Or form a pack and take it back. Embezzle the gold and say goodbye to the foobar bourgeoisie who wanna harm the new armies who take aim at the enemy. Will make change by any means that be necessary. It's the anarchist bootstomp. Motherfuckers, it's the anarchist bootstomp. Raise your fist for the anarchist bootstomp. Blow down, throw down in this anarchist bootstomp when the boots at the back of your head. Do you bite the curb or fight the urge? My sight is blurred, but I can still make a straight shot. Got a life to earn and make it through the pay drops. But it's the anarchist bootstomp. 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 Landing hard on the middlemen who play a part so sibilant and starve the itinerants apart the imminent certain death. Coming from the darkness, the nervous wreck, the worthless wretch who hits the hardest. I spit these bars cause my hands are too shaky to be a marksman. It's the victim's voice. I live my voice for a different choice other than the shadows and the gallows and the distant noise. The battle cries, the saddened cries of crafted lies that leave only down press the man satisfied. The man who told me work will set you free, but no company store could be the death of me. I ain't gonna end up face up as long as I keep my head shut and my black boots laced up. It's the last struggle, the class struggle, and when the tactics get subtle, they'll find that their ivory towers get blasted to rubble. When the guillotine is close around your neck, would you look into the crowd and scream ownership is theft? Would you replace the president's medicine with poison? Will you raise your fist and join in the anarchist bootstomp? Raise your fist for the anarchist bootstomp. It's time for the anarchist bootstomp. Working men unite for the anarchist bootstomp. It's 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 the anarchist bootstomp. You are being force-fed the bullshit while you ignore the horse head in your bed that you'll get when a man claims he has the truth. Absolutely absolute with no actual proof. Well, to get the sweet syrup, you gotta tap the root. Don't believe the hype, consider the source. Every man wants his name to get bigger, of course, so he'll preach and plead his plight. Don't believe the hype. You can't believe the hype. Your mind is a steel cage built with concealed graves, a shield made to delay the appeals to rage.
that would seal the day. Don't bottle up and explode, you can still feel dismay. Your creator's make and model is an offshoot from Crossroads that makes you stay so hostile. There was no resurrection, the secret's out. Rather than go to rooftops to scream and shout about this dream you found, you can find the source of this false world and just beat it down.
Pick your party, pick your motto, and cast your ballot for tomato or tomato. Put another fruit in office who smothers all your causes while the poor starve and another war starts. Revolution's been reduced to a caucus. Don't believe the hype, solutions aren't black and white. Choose a greedy hog or a shrill weasel. The lesser of two evils is still evil. So when they say you're leaning left, you're leaning right.
Now here's what I want you all to do for me.
Don't believe the hype.
Don't believe the hype.
You can't believe the hype. You're an alpha male cause you make 1,000 sales. The rest of us are bound to fail. Some housed in jails, or jerk water, backwater, mountain bales, or in between, but we all found it stale. When your supply and demand drives and can't command, you'll find that none of our lives are in your hands. It starts with one mind, but it eventually goes round till all you motherfuckers catch a low down, throwdown.
Don't believe the hype.
You can't believe the hype, and no one loves you for these 10,000 lies. I hope to realize one truth. You can't believe the hype, and no one loves you for these 10,000 lies. I hope to realize one truth.
Then there's the peace advocates, the blessed are the meek, turn the other cheek pacifists. And they say power to the people, we'll tell that to the churchgoers crowded at the steeple. For their weekly dose of slave mentality, I guess a whip slashing's better than the pain of reality. Don't believe the hype, faith is weakness, so put down the ancient scriptures for the love of fucking Jesus. And when the preachy types tell you to see the light, don't believe the hype.
Don't believe the hype.
You can't believe the hype, even if it gives you a chance to sleep at night. We are all organic machines who live and breathe, but sometimes panic and scream. We cut the brainstem if it would banish the dream. We place faith in this great receiver. Our best friend and nemesis, always a great deceiver. Amazed made of seizures and reverb against death and insanity. Which one will you reach first? You're just a hostage. Your senses do you free card money as the passions on your pockets.
Don't believe the hype.
Oedipus, I can't see the end of it. My world is on fire and no eyes can measure it. The inside assholes, Benedicts and Confederates. The downside just grows a death grip, I can't let it slip. Never electric, use different shocks till I pick the oxygen from your skin or box. Your name's on the way of a plane that hit the rocks. When the running stops, on your money shot. Human stains left unchanged is what we got. Whether etched in a mattress or stretches of fabric, I incinerate the whole house, all that's left is the ashes. The scene is a discomfort and a plot is a savage, with a fire never smothered. To my demon brother in the depths of madness.
This is the end.
Even a drone can overthrow a throne that tries to dominate. In a home that goes unknown and takes pains to obfuscate. Days and chains, nights alone I would plot escapes. Not a dead man's clone. I don't have a mind to stop and wait for the right time. Look into what used to be bright eyes that are now dead and vacant, like the heads in Dahmer's fridge or the bones beneath Casey's basement. Unprotected, I'm going straight in, and unlike Oedipus, I'm never gonna withdraw or gouge out my eyes, cause all I wanna see is life's pitfall.
This is the end.
Of a Freudian nightmare,
Awake to find his world not quite there, and your
misdiagnosis white bear.
This is the end.
of mommy, daddy, me,
And its impossibility,
replace the edible
with hate that's incredible and
hostility.
This is the end.
of case study days.
Life doesn't mimic your favorite play,
We all face more intricate hardships
This is the end.
with no catharsis.
it's torching my soul to reach for this morbid control. A mound of bones for me to stand atop. Me versus the machines and me versus Thanatos. And we both landed soft. This is my rhapsody. My ego mixed with cacophony. The heart of a blasphemy that cats can see through the picture window into this tragedy. And I won't hate you as long as you are in back of me. And stay that way as I hit the next day. Just a memory in a cigarette break. than God is to your jugular. While you talk about all this pain filled inside me, I burned down your world made of angels and ivory. The boy's a time bomb, a walk-in razor. Always leaves a crater, always hated till you play first. Me and Leviathan riding in on the same hearse, trained in a derangement that remains nameless. A rage shaped into the form of the shallow agent with no hallowed cadence. Even the saints couldn't tell me what the shadow's name is. There's no forgiving the reverend, who's just a voice box and dies with no gift of remembrance. And then the noise stops with bitter acceptance that the machine broke down and didn't deliver the message. I think nothing, I feel nothing, I write nothing, and I don't even care. My iris is turned a deadly red, a soul full of violence like Sergei Nekiev, the world, the insane asylum. I'd rip out my veins and vertebrae to break this place of silence, but nothing works, so I drop the quixotic. I break down as the clock ticks. My electroshock is running from a tragic lie, and the heart that's toxic.
My style is death, no less than Dr. Kevorkian. Got the hot shots to end the desperation of mortal men. Cannibalistic, no different than king cobras. Drink and spit venom while the rest of you drink sodas. I'm here to transcend the end of a mere man. Many are afraid of snakes when they should fear lambs, who can walk in one direction till the day they meet their maker. Like so many you may know, who pray or preach to a savior. There's nothing more insane than a man on his knees unless it's foreplay. The meek and the humble will inherit little more than a list of chores or chance to die in a bigger war. Ego wins again. The selfless remain so and are stillborn, the stillborn living dead ever since the marriage of Narcissus and his reflection. Clear introspection is polluted and busy like New York City intersections. Do you look in the mirror and say I do? I do. A no one with a normal size cock and IQ ready to wreak havoc. Replace grace with a strong arm. In it for the long haul till my death will be tragic. With no resignation I'm talking about my generation. They told me chill out, that I was too intense, that I need to smoke the peace pipe and breathe it through my vents to keep myself in check. The boy needs therapy. Such a quick flame, his nickname is kerosene. So caustic with no cause ignites. Lashes out at his fellow man, but he's bright. Some have said too smart for his own good. Tries to fight Goliath and hits harder than a stone could. Counter culture, a counter revolutionary, bound to be a sculpture or a bronze bust. When he grew up, he wanted to be the Nile crocodile in the pond muck. It came half true, well he sounds as vicious when he snaps a rap and gets right down to business. So I can never smoke your peace pipe, cause my life is war. Let's be precise, I'm sober, but never straight edge, always serrated. When I slash the world, its best chances to play dead. In my generation, they said, I wanna be sedated. I'll never be sedated, always stimulating like caffeine. Now and forever a rap fiend, never crossing over like drag queens. Me and Graham tag team won't be pigeonholed, all original, genuine, where adrenaline permeates every pore. Every petty metaphor is critical to keep the blood pumping. Never the idols, always up to something. As I said before, my style is death with no afterlife. Cold ain't close, keep the casket tight. Because you see, life is not flying in the sky with diamonds and Lucy. It's reality that kicks you in the face like Bruce Lee. So lose your illusion and learn to take a hit. The earth's a neutral solution, it's what you make of it. Whether basic or acidic, the pH in the lakes. From place to place, in any case, it's indifferent and uncaring. They must have some bearings to claim we're united under the sun glaring through the holes in the ozone from aerosol. They preach the sunny side of life and walk with a parasol. But I've got the wherewithal to bear it all and teeth to gnash with a beat to match. My style is death.